The first documentary takes a look at the schools in the Northeast. The next is the Southwest neighborhoods. Outline for me where these 4 documentaries take us.
Well, the first one is Far Northeast Denver, which is a very broad neighborhood, but we're focusing really on the Montbello community and the Green Valley Ranch neighborhood, which in Denver is our most diverse community, Green Valley Ranch. It has a very nice balance of Black, white, and Latino residents. Which
Park Hill used to be?
Which, I don't know if I would say that. I don't know. I just.
Well, I grew up at 22nd and Claremont, and 23rd really was this dividing line. And so while there was integration, more integration than I found in other neighborhoods I lived in, there was still this dividing line, even in Park Hill. And so I do think Green Valley Ranch has done something where neighbors are really, from all different ethnicities, and it's pretty unique.
But
yeah, and I think the other piece is in terms of Denver overall. As part of the documentary, we've had some of the key figures in the late 60s who were kind of at the forefront of pushing Denver public schools to be more integrated, and to be able to interview them, have them participate in terms of their own experience. Lots of folks, at least I was very surprised as we think of really the South and other parts of the country, of not having that tension or that explosion or that back and forth between different communities who had different perceptions of what integration meant to them, and it got pretty heated. And so I think that history, for me, is what I'm most proud of, because putting that out there in these communities that we're engaging, I think the response has been like, thank you for doing that, and for being honest in terms of bringing those actual voices. It's not myself or any of us here telling the stories, it's the very people who participated. And that goes all the way until now. And so I think that narrative coming from those individuals has helped build some support for this conversation and for standing in the gap overall. I don't think we would have now if we didn't bring in those voices.
And some voices that haven't been heard from before, which are the people that are now adults, but were then students who were bused. I think that's something else that's been really powerful. And how a lot of them were shaped by going to schools that are integrated, and whether that was a student who was, being bused from, say, Montbello or some part to, say, Steck, as African American, or if it was an Anglo student who was being bused to Manual. And, they, a lot of times they saw and recognized the challenges, but they also saw the incredible opportunity that came within being in a school together. And what, one of the things we talked about a lot is those students are now adults and they're parents, and they're making educational decisions for their kids. And this equity piece and this integration piece is very important to them, but they're actually aging out of making education choices for their children. And it's just a really interesting kind of place and time right now. Again, another reason why this conversation is so important.
Yep. And that's the importance, I think, of kind of the video production part of this, and then bringing that together with the community engagement, doing those two pieces and working together on this project with everybody who's been involved, and doing that out in the community so folks get to see a 30-minute kind of video documentary and then have a discussion after. I think it leaves people feeling fulfilled and that there is a strong conversation going on, and that's what we've hoped for, and we think so far we've done pretty well there. So
thank you all very much. Good work, and we'll look forward to seeing the more pieces of it that we will see in the next several weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
for having us.